NATO foreign ministers marked the 75th anniversary of the alliance's foundation Thursday, but the birthday celebrations were muted. Despite NATO support for Ukraine, Russia continues to make battlefield gains and continues to rain down missiles and drones on Ukraine's cities. 4 people were killed and dozens injured in this attack on the eastern city of Kyiv. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg gave a sobering assessment as the alliance meeting closed Thursday.
The situation on the battlefield remains serious. Ukraine needs more air defenses, more ammunition, and more aid. And therefore, allies will now go back and look into their inventories, look into if there are any ways they can provide more systems, in particular Patriots.
Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba appealed to NATO allies to give that aid and made a specific request for American-made Patriot air defense missiles.
Saving Ukrainian lives, saving Ukrainian economy, saving Ukrainian cities depends on the availability of Patriots and other air defense systems in Ukraine. And we're talking about Patriots because it's the only system that can intercept ballistic missiles. And only in March, Ukraine was hit with 94 ballistic missiles.
The US Congress is still blocking a military aid package for Ukraine worth around $60 billion. Speaking in Brussels Thursday, Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged lawmakers to vote for the bill.
We know what the needs are: air defenses, artillery, munitions. So I believe, based on what I heard today, that everyone, including the United States, is going to double back and, as necessary, double down on finding the resources that Ukraine continues to need.
Ukraine's air defenses are not sufficient, says analyst Liana Fix.
They only cover certain important strategic infrastructure for Ukraine and, of course, the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. And we've seen that in recent weeks, Russia has stepped up its campaign, especially on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. And that is where Ukraine needs additional protection, where it needs those Patriots.
NATO's Secretary-General has proposed a $107 billion 5-year NATO fund to provide military support for Ukraine and hopes to reach agreement at July's annual NATO summit in Washington. But there was no concrete agreement at this week's meeting in Brussels.
Europeans, both, in terms of financial support and military support, just can't make up for the huge amounts of military support that was coming from the United States.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin said Thursday that relations between NATO and Russia had, in its words, reached the level of direct confrontation. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News.